Hi, thanks for joining us today. I'm Lisa Pelletier, Client Services Coordinator at the Move Makers, and with us today is one of our professional organizers, Jill Viglione. Jill has been doing professional organizing for about 17 years, and we have just a few things we want to talk about today in order to get started on your first downsizing project. And it's basically essentially organizing for downsizing. Those words are very interchangeable seemingly, but they're really not. It's kind of what the things you have to think about prior to getting started on your downsizing project. We're going to talk about a few things today, about how to kind of calculate how many things you can keep for your next move, before you move to your new location, how time is affected, the time plan there, and also how much money this can save you, and also a little bit about the moving business and how that factors into everything else as well. So I'm going to turn the meeting over right now, this little presentation over to Jill Viglione. Hi, Jill.
Hi. Hey, thanks, Lisa. So it sounds like everyone's considering downsizing. It's a really wonderful opportunity when you are moving to really consider downsizing what you have. And there's many reasons why. So basically what we want to talk about is how you can save time and money by downsizing, which you really can. And so the first point we're going to make is your downsizing percentage. How do you calculate how much stuff you should keep or not keep for your move? So this is pretty easy. So if you know the size of your current home and you know the size of your next home and one is smaller than the other, you take the smaller number of your new home and you divide it by your current home. So let's say your current house is 3,000 square feet and your new house is 2,000 square feet. You take 2,000, you divide it by 3,000, and you come up with 66%. Now, what that represents is that you take that 66%, and that's what you can keep. So if you have 6 vases, basically, you're going to keep approximately 4. Okay, it's just a rough estimate. If you have 10 items, you're approximately going to keep approximately about 6 to 7. So anytime you're going to be looking at any of the items that you have, you want to gather everything of the same type, put them into a little area and start thinking about that. How can I reduce so that I'm only keeping 66%? Okay, another example would be if you're doing a major downsizing, if you're going from like 3,500 square feet down to 1,250, that leaves you with about 36%, not much. So basically you're going to keep about 1/3 of what you have. So if you've got 3 items, you keep 1. If you have 6 items, you keep 2. But this will really, really help you. Okay, this helps you in your move. Now, some of the reasons why that helps you is because it's going to save you a lot of money. Figure you've got someone packing, you've got someone unpacking, you've got people, the movers moving it on both ends. This is one of the biggest things that you can do to save money on your move, especially if you're going interstate, out of the state. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is a timeline. So when you're creating when you're starting your downsizing project, or you know that you're going to be moving, if you can create a timeline, this is going to be really, really helpful. And what I recommend is that you do a reverse timeline. You start with the date at the end, maybe when you're going to be moved. And even if you don't know when that is, let's say it's a year away, create your timeline, your date of moving, May 2021. Then you start backing up, thinking about, okay, so your move-in day, you back up before that. Unpacking, you back up before that. Movers, you back up. Packing. And so you go backwards and you start just doing loose ideas and dates, okay? Remember, you have to have a realtor, you have to have photos taken, you have to think about improvements made on your home, leaving time for services by a handyman. All of these need to be included in your timeline. And you want to leave plenty of time for downsizing. And I can tell you, it's better to start downsizing now before there's a deadline, okay? Because you don't want to be under the pressure where your house is selling in a month and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I've got to downsize my whole house. How do I deal with this? Well, you don't want to deal with that, okay? You want to have a timeline. You can use an Excel spreadsheet. That works out really, really great. If you know Excel and you just have the date, you have the item, you have who's responsible and if it's been done, And that way you can sort. You could do a Word document. You can just do a binder if you want, or just a simple binder. Sometimes what we do for our clients, we do a move binder. And in that binder, you can create sections. On that first page, you have your timeline. Okay, then you start creating sections for things like resources. Who are the handy people I'm going to use? Who's going to be cleaning my carpets? You collect business cards. You put them in there. Maybe the documents from the realtor. You put that in there. Maybe some other flyers that you've received, or plans. Excuse me, if you want to do your closet on the other end of closet companies, you put that in there. So by having this binder with your timeline, it's going to be really, really helpful. Okay, so the next thing is we're going to talk about a little bit is moving. So moving companies, there's many across the board. That's something that we actually do with the Move Makers, is we help you pick a moving company. But we want to make sure that you are educated about this process. Moving companies are required by the state of Oregon and Washington to provide an in-home free estimate. Okay, that means they come to your home and they tell you exactly how much, or approximately how much is going to move. It's non-binding estimate, meaning you don't have to put money down, and they're going to estimate as close as possible for you so that you know how much it's going to cost. And then as the Move Makers, we do the same thing with packing and unpacking. We provide an estimate to you so that you know approximately how much it's going to cost. Now, moving might seem expensive, but when you consider how much time it saves you and the stress of moving, it's worth every penny. So approximately right now, when you pay a mover for that hourly rate, you get 2 persons and a truck. And that's a really good deal when you think about it. And so they're going to be able to move you and get you in. And so you think about, you know, every single item they're moving, you want to make sure it's worth it for you to move the item. And so when they move it, remember, all of those things are things that you really should love and that you use. And so you're paying for every single one of those things. So when you're downsizing, think about that. Think about your percentage. Think about creating a timeline, and think about, what do you want your new home to be? How do you want it to reflect who you are? And make sure that every single thing that you move is something you love and cherish and treasure and use. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jill. That are really some great tips. All
Great.
right. Thanks, folks. Check in with us soon. We're going to have another in our series. This is our first one. Hope you like it, and we'll see you soon. Take care.